Now, one really cool option is you can basically have a portfolio running, being updated directly from Lightroom CC, and actually even from Lightroom Classic, but I'll show that to you in the Lightroom Classic tutorial. So basically what I did is I created a folder called Adobe Portfolio. That's just a folder that I created. And I have different albums which are actually coming from Lightroom CC, because you have the possibility, Lightroom Classic, sorry. I don't use Lightroom CC, I use Lightroom Classic, and I can make Lightroom Classic communicate with Lightroom CC and basically synchronize some of my portfolios, which is what I did. So this actually originally came from Lightroom Classic, but it doesn't matter. You could import it, you could create albums. All it matters is I have different albums with some of my best work, and they are into a folder called Portfolio. Okay, so that's something that I manually did. If let's say I wanted to get this folder into this section, let me go back here. I can go back to my folder structure here. I can take, for example, this Imperial Dunes, and I can drag and drop it, and you can see there's a blue square when you drop it into a folder, and the folder I created. Or let's see, I can, for example, I can create a new folder that I'm going to call temp. Okay, and so here it is. Well, telp I called it, and I can drag and drop this one and this one, for example, in this folder. Okay, so that's kind of cool. And you see when there is several, it makes a little blue bar. Anyway, so here was a folder called Portfolio with some of my best work. Now for every single, the reason why it's not fully updated because it's still downloading from the web. This is a new computer, so all my photos are not downloaded. But basically what I did is you right click, and that's a new option. You click Share to Adobe Portfolio. So I really advise you, if you want to have a website that's being run by Lightroom CC, you have a folder called Portfolio or called Website. I called it Portfolio because Portfolio is for me is my website. You put all the collections, all the albums you want them to be on a web, and for every single one of them, you click on Share to Adobe Portfolio. Once you do that, you go on this little two guys here, and you see it says connection. You can see all that is there. So I can click here, for example, on this one. And now this is all the albums which are going to be sent to the cloud onto my new website. And if you want to see how you can update it, you just click on that link. That's going to take you into your favorite browser. For me, it's Chrome. And you can see here, I can create up to 5 websites. So in this case, I've already created one. Actually, you know what? Let's create a new website because I already created one. New website. And then you can go in there and basically decide which album. By default, it's going to put all the albums that went from Lightroom CC that you said you wanted them to go to the web. Okay, first it asks you what do you want to create, gallery of work or splash page. I want to do a gallery of work because I'm a photographer. Then you can come here to different theme. I like, let's take, well, I did my first website I did with Ludwig. Let's create this one with Marina. You can see in big what it looks like and in small what it would like on an iPhone. I like this one. Let's check Marina. And there's one moment, please. We are creating your website. This won't take long. So it's basically going to create the website for you. Here we go. Hi, I'm Serge Ramelli. Scroll down to see some of my work. Okay, that's the default text, which you can change. You can click on this little dot and you can change the way it looks. Well, sorry, now if you click here, you can change, I can click here and type Serge Ramelli photography, okay? And this is a default template. If you don't like the fonts, you can edit it here. I can go here and I can probably go and change a few things. The heights, let's see here, title. Yeah, I can change the font. Now, I would advise you pick a theme that you like. I don't want to go, this is like another tutorial on how to make a website, but anyway, scroll down to see some of my work. And you can see here, there is a whole bunch of, it created a whole bunch of collections. So you want to see, you can click here on page and integration, and you can see here, I see. This is all the stuff that came from Behance. I don't want anything from Behance. Behance is the social network created by Adobe. I don't want that. What I want is I can go to integration, default gallery. I can go to Adobe Lightroom, click add albums, and it's going to basically, remember we said we wanted this to go to the website. So we can go to Adobe Lightroom. and I'm going to go to portfolio, and I'm like, I said, I want this one, I want this one, I want this one, I want this one. Imported, selected. So your albums has already been imported. Back to editor. Okay, cool. Why you haven't sent it? Maybe I went a little fast here. I don't know what happened. So this is a completely new option. So let's go back to portfolio. I want this one, this one, this one, this one. Import selected. And it says, it looks like this album's already been imported on another website on your account. Oh, I see. Okay, because, all right. So you can't, if you create a new website, you can't use, that's something I didn't know. So, okay, let's go to add album. And I'm going to just randomly add some other ones for this website. I'm going to add the, let's see here, Jerusalem. I'm going to add the Mamiya. I'm going to add the Provence, for example, folder. Import selected. And this time it's going to work because they were not imported into my original website. Okay? So I'm turning off Behance and I'm just turning on Lightroom. You can either input from Behance or Lightroom. So in this case, you see I've got these 3 folders and there they are. Okay? Okay, I had a little issue, so I had to restart. So I imported, again, the same folders. And if you want to change the thumbnail, you can just right-click and edit cover or customize page, edit cover image. You can go here and basically it's going to look into the album and I can change the cover if I want to and click on done. And it's going to change the cover that you see here. So basically in this thing here, you can choose which album you want to have. It's integration with Adobe Lightroom. I had to redo it, so I only took 2 albums. I can add some more. I can go back to add albums. And it's going to connect to my Lightroom CC. But again, as you can see, each website has to have its own album. An album cannot be on the same website. So I'm going to add my drone, and I'm going to add, I don't know, let's see here, maybe my photo walk folder, whatever. Okay. And I'm going to click import selected. And you can add as much album that you want. And that's one that's cool because you will be able to update it directly from Lightroom. Okay. So it's going to update. Right now I've got several albums. I can go there and, I can click here on the little blue and say, edit cover image, choose a different image of the album. For example, this one for the drone shots. It's lagging a little bit because this is all happening in the web. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, and then so that's basically this is what you're gonna get. So I'm getting all these 4 albums coming. You see, there's a Lightroom logo here, meaning it's coming from Lightroom, and all the Behance logo I turned it off. Okay, I've got a contact page which I can of course update. So I can go on the contact page here, and I can say, I can edit what it's going to say here. So I can say, for example, let's see here, page header, edit page info, customize. Let's see here. I can click on the search Romeli. I mean, you can click on something and just edit it. Let's see. Let's go back to contact, and what can I edit here? Let's see here. I cannot edit this. I can edit that. Basically, that's just the way it looks. So that's the contact page by default. Okay, fine. One thing that's important, if you go to settings, you have to go through everything, like domain name. For right now, it's using like a Search Remedy 799 as a site domain, which is kind of weird. You can click here and purchase a domain name. And I did that. So for my first website, which is photosearch.net, if you go to photosearch.net, this website was completely created by my Lightroom CC catalog, the one I was talking to you about. So you can see what it looks like. That's the final result. So by default, it's coming to the Paris page. But if I go to work, you have my Paris portfolio, New York, Italy, Los Angeles, portrait landscape. I can click on one. It's kind of really cool. Basically, what I do is I got 2 websites. And you see, like this one is really ugly, for example, because it was supposed to be color. So if I go into my Lightroom CC, and I can see here the photo is like this. If I go to the retouching part, I can basically I can put back the saturation, how it was, like very saturated, and the vibrant, not so much, but like, oh no, that's too much. I can just put it back to how it was. Okay, well, that's a little too much now. Yeah, the temperature was too crazy. Yeah, so that's how the photo was, maybe a little more exposed. Yeah, that's the original photo, how it was. Now, if I go back to my other website, to this website, so I'm in this build. I have to go back to basically here, I guess. Manage sites. So now I have got to go to photosearch.net. So same thing, because you can do as much website that you want. Okay, and I can go here to my different collections. The one I'm looking for is integration. Yes, integration with Lightroom CC. New Zealand. Here it is. New Zealand. No, where is it at? Website pages. Oh no, it's here actually. It was here. So you see New Zealand is here, and you see this little cogwheel here. Sorry, let me go. I can click here and I can say reset from Lightroom. And reset from Lightroom basically is going to look, okay, an error happened while updating the page. Try in a few moments. I don't know what's going on. Maybe because I'm mixing, but the whole idea is that it's going to basically make this photo go color. It's going to go from Lightroom CC and update my website. And I can go here and I can switch between all the different websites that I have. I can move this window around. And it's very, very simple. View live websites, manage sites. So I was working on this one, the 779 edit website. So that's the one I was working on. And basically what I'm saying is you can go here, so you can put a domain name, homepage. You can decide which homepage is going to be work. Is the one with all your portfolio, which is cool. You can put your Google Analytics tracking here. You can put some website title and meta description so that Google can find you better. You can add some meta tag, which is more like a search engine optimization technique. You can add a photo as a 5 icon, which is going to be that. You see, that's the little icon. I just added this photo and it did this. That's what a 5 icon is. The web clip icon, same thing, is when you share something, that's going to be the photo. It's going to be the main photo of your website. Same thing for social media sharing. When you share this on social media, what do you want the photo to represent your website? That's what you're going to upload here. Site options, I've not gone into it. Password protection, you can password protect a page, which can be cool because let's say you're shooting a wedding and you can upload the gallery and you can protect it with a password and just give the password to people. Cookie banner, I did not enable the cookie banner, and restore website style. Voila, so that's, this is not an in-depth tutorial on how to make a website, but I can see here, I can click on preview, and I'm going to see what this website is going to look like. Now, I'm not going to publish it because I've already done it with photosearch.net, but you can see that's my website. That's the theme that I use. I can click here, and I can see, that basically that collection coming from Lightroom CC. I have a bit of a slow, and it shows the other collections, which are there, which is kind of cool. So that was just to show you. And if you make any changes of these photos into your Lightroom CC, all you have to do is click here. Let's say I made a change onto my New Zealand photo. I can go here and I can click, you go here and just click here and you click on reset from Lightroom. And then right now it's not working. That's perfect. Maybe Adobe is doing something. Now, if you don't like that theme, you can click here and you can switch theme. Like I used Marina, which I thought was cool, but my first website was Ludwig. And you can just switch theme as much as you want. That's really, really cool. So go to photosearch.net so you get an idea of what you can do with this. It's really cool because you can manage your website. And just one last tip. The reason why I think it's so cool, because I have a policy, which is that I don't want my I don't want my website to have too many photos. This is something that I learned along the way, which is that you should have a website that has very little photos and only your best. And for that, I have a website called searchgermanyphotos.com. This website only has my 20 best work per category. So Paris, Italy, USA, portrait, interior design, etc. It only has my 20 best work. This website that I created with Lightroom CC has a lot more Paris work. Why? Because it happens often that I get a request from like a journalist saying, oh, I saw your website, but you have more stuff from Paris. So the way I intend to use my Lightroom CC website is it's basically going to be it's going to have a lot more photos than just my regular sort of branding portfolio, which is this one. So that's the way I rock. Don't make the mistake of putting too much photos on your website. Only put your best work. I guess if there's only one thing I learned in marketing is that if you have one photo that's not really good on your portfolio, it's going to kill your portfolio. So be very careful to put only your best work. But if you're like me and you've been doing it for 15, 20 years, you got a lot of work, I think it's a cool option to have a second website, because, sometimes people will contact me about Paris and I can send them like, this web page, which has a lot more photos of Paris than just my regular portfolio. And that's how I use this Lightroom CC portfolio. So I hope you find this fun. Give it a shot.